Alright, getting started on this door, getting some stuff cut out. Yeah, check that out. That's not rust. Well, some of it's rust. Most of that is crappy mouse bedding. Just big chunks of it. All down in there. You know, and that's the thing, this sort of stuff here, when a car sits. Now I believe that Ralph bought this car at an auction, you know, and it looked really nice when he got it. But I believe it sat somewhere other than his house for many years, maybe in some field, and somebody picked it up, bonded it up, straightened it up, put it in the auction and sold it. And so we have mice critters living in it, and that's what's hurt this car more than anything, was sitting. You know, you store a car somewhere and you store it properly so this sort of thing doesn't happen. But anyhow, I just wanted to show you this good stuff here really quick. We'll get my shop vac in there, probably cut. So I got some rust holes here, like I was showing you earlier. And this whole bead, this is the inner door structure. Now I'll probably end up going all the way from over here, all the way to about here. I really like this right here. It's good and solid, so I'm gonna try to keep it. I cut off the other end of the door, and I'm gonna try to keep that, believe it or not. And I'd almost rather weld that back in once I get it all cleaned up, and it's pretty solid. So I don't know, we'll see what happens. I was gonna make a pattern. Decided on one of my other doors, before I even put it on the car, how I figured out it was screwed up was actually right there. So right there's where the bend ends up, you know, right on that. And it's already off a little bit, you know, and I don't know if that should be more like down here. You would think. Hell, I don't know. Well, I'll figure it out, just like everything else, huh? Alright folks, don't know if I'll be out here much tonight, but kind of tired. Day job's killing me. Alright. Where'd hell Jackson go? Let's see. Follow this cable. Say hi, Jackson. No? Alright. I'll get back here and get to work. A little bit anyway. I'm tired. Alright. I figured I'd spare you guys the details. You've seen me do 3 other doors. You know, if you got any questions, ask me. I just want to get this thing done. I've got her done. I don't know, I'm pretty happy with this. Of course there's imperfections in it. There is like a little bit of a dent or two, that just little imperfections. I don't know if you guys can see that. You know, and I got to square up my body line a little bit. It's a little flat where it'd been caved in. But I think it'll block out good. I'm really pretty happy with how this turned out. Now of course this was gone right about here, and this was gone right through here. This was all gone. Of course this whole corner was gone. So, you know, didn't turn out too bad. I did a little bit different this time. I poured 15 my stuff, my surface rust that I cleaned up best I could and soaked with rust mort and all that, and I went ahead and poured 15 the inside of the door, but like this hinge area was surface rusted. Ground it down really good, and I poured 15 some places where the weather strip rides that had a little bit of surface rust, cleaned all that up. And like I say, I would do the pour 15 and let it sit overnight, block it all out really good and all that. So, but it is a urethane based, just like this Matrix 2K primer is. And I waited about, I don't know, 15-20 minutes, half hour or something like that, sprayed primer right on top of it. So the good thing I've got going on is this door is going to sit for a little while before I even block sand it. I got a lot of other stuff to do. So if there's any adverse effects, I think that I'll see them before I end up painting it. Speaking of adverse effects, I'm going to show you guys something here while I'm thinking about it. It kind of sucks, but it's going to happen. This primer, it does shrink, so you got to let it sit and let it shrink before you go block sanding it. But I don't know if you can see that right there. That's a crack. And I redid both these doors, redid the bottoms of them, or I straightened them out and all that. And when I did start, right when I started priming it, I thought I saw something there, wasn't sure. Thought, well, I'll throw a little bit of extra primer on there and it'll block out. Well, it just cracked even worse. So what it is, I've got this primer's too heavy on the bottom of this door. It's too thick. And when it sets up and shrinks, well, of course, it might crack, and that's what it's done. I think that's just the primer. Of course, when I go to getting all my body lines all lined up, make sure everything's cool, I'll take everything back apart when I start block sanding it, and I'll have to gouge that out, grind that down, and refill it and refix it. That's just it's a mistake, and it's just something I can learn off of. So anyway, I did that. I did the welding on this door, did the filler work. I had a big crease right through here. Like I said, this was caved in right in this corner. Ground out all the old body work. There was holes somebody had drilled. Welded them in. Used my dent puller, my stud welder dent puller. Got it all, and I did all that yesterday and today, and got it in primer. So, it was probably a little soon for primer in the Bondo. But I'm not too worried about it. I think all of it's going to shrink. It's going to shrink. Like I said, I got time on my hands to let it shrink and do whatever it's going to do. Whatever happens, I'll fix it. That's just how it is. It's like everything in life. Things don't go as planned sometimes, and So anyway, the next little segment of this video is going to be stripping this fender down. Once I get it down and we get it assessed, and I'll probably post this video. And of course, you can see right there, that's little balls of Bondo coming through holes. So this fender's been caved in, and it's actually right on the body line. That's a body line right there. Of course, lots of rust here. We got a hole here, another brazed in patch, I got a feeling. And they could have brazed this one in, but they didn't. They used pop rivets. There's pop rivets. They're really hard to see. That's a pop rivet. There's about 5 or 6 through there. And we have multiple pop rivets right here. So that means underneath this trim I got a hole. I got a big rust hole that they covered up. So I've got to rebuild that. Rebuild some other stuff. Just like I did on the other fender. The other fender I had 60 hours in. We're going to see if we can get this taken care of a little bit less than that. got all this taken care of, and this one is actually in better shape as far as the headlight bucket. As far as this thing goes, I don't have to redo that. Don't look like. Just fix the end of this, and of course this right here, I'll have to make a new one of those, and I already know how to do that. So that'll be the next deal. Then after that fender's done, all we got to do is worry about a deck lid and a trunk lid that have this in all corners. Right there. Right in the eyebrows, or the tail brows, or whatever you want to call it, of each one of them. You know, and then the hood has, look at that, there's a little rust hole right there, right in the nose of it. So, a little bit of dent action, you know, not too big deal as far as all that goes. You know, all this stuff. I'm gonna try to get some sandblasting going on that. You know, a lot of work ahead. Well, we'll see you again here in about 3.5 seconds. Yep. And see, every time I walk by this fender, I see another imperfection, but that's okay. That's what this primer's for. What don't block out, I'm gonna throw a little icing on it, fill it in. I got a little heavy on the primer right there. Again, it'll block out as long as it don't crack. It might already start cracking right there. That's okay. That's how things go. You know, I got to get this thing done, and maybe by the end of this video, if not that one, the next one, I'll tell you why. I'm on a little bit of a time restraint. I've got to have this car together in one piece, painted, running and driving, basically done as far as I'm going to do it by the first week of May 2017. I've got time. I think I can make it happen. I'm pretty close. Pretty close. Anyways, I hope you guys will check out the ride. We'll see you here. You know, I'm probably just going to upload this video because I have no idea when I'm going to get back out here. I do know, but it's not important. Screw it. You know, I'll just upload this video. Heck with it. I lied. You know, so it's going to be a little short video on this whole door situation, but you know, that's the next thing. I'll get the door hung on the car, get it just half-ass lined up. So I still have to redo all my hinges and all that, and strip that fender down. Get the fender stripped down, get all the body work done on it, do the hood and the trunk lid, get all that done. Take the motor out, motor and transmission out, and I'm just going to stick them in the corner, not even worry about them. Clean up the firewall, get everything cleaned up, you know, and we're going to put paint on this thing after you know, I don't know, a month of sand blocking, and reprimering and blocking, you know. So, all right, we'll see you on the next one, guys. I'll do some shout outs next time, and maybe get a mail call or two. We'll see what happens on the next one. There you go. Battery's dying. Sorry about that, guys. We'll see you on the next one. Take her easy.